this one is so well done, it's actually going to be difficult to review. Patriot Games, released in 1992 and directed by Philip Noyce. With a production budget of $45 million, a domestic box office of $83 million, an international box office of $94 million, worldwide total of $178 million, for a profit of $133 million. Less all marketing and associated costs. Starring Harrison Ford, Anne Archer, Polly Walker, Sean Bean, Patrick Bergin, also starring Samuel L. Jackson and James Earl Jones, based on the novel written by Tom Clancy. I've read that novel a few times now, and every time I watch this movie, I want to go read it again. So, reviewing this one is going to present a bit of a challenge. You see, it's generally, and pretty much across every category, good. And whilst it is a very good movie, it's also very boring to talk about something that's just generally good. I don't have any negatives to say about this film. I mean, really, any negatives that count. So I might try discussing what it isn't. Let's see if that works. Characters. Okay, let's start with the fact that characters don't suck. They're not single-dimension, monologue, puking cardboard cutouts, which is nice. The villains aren't cackling madmen in the background, swanning around in some secret palace with nothing better to do than come up with stupid ideas, ignoring their henchmen, and generally making an ass of themselves. No, these villains are actually worth watching. They're actually worth, the time on screen. They have a storyline. They have interactions that you want more of. The hero is not some meatball that goes looking for trouble. He's not some super soldier. Not some elite commando with incredible intensive ninja training. Nah, dude's an analyst who happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time but does the right thing. Thing is what they call an everyman hero. You didn't have to force yourself to believe that this muppet running around with guns on a hero complex was actually on your side. You didn't have to convince yourself that the cops are going to let this guy slide because he's got a big strong chin and a charming demeanor. Even though Harrison Ford actually does. The two female leads of the movie, neither of these are wilting little flowers sitting in the background, wringing their hands and wondering what's going to happen next. One's a dedicated political killer who's quite happy to set fire to a world, sit back and watch it all burn. And the other one is, well, a devoted, loving wife and a devoted, loving mother who's quite happy to take a shotgun, smash you in the face with it because she may be out of shells, but she's going to protect her daughter. The support characters, they're not just there to make the hero look good. In fact, without most of these support actors, the entire movie falls on its face. Jack Ryan wouldn't be able to get anywhere without his technical team. He really uses them. They are not just there to fill up space on set. And the villains' henchmen aren't slacking off either. They're dangerous, they're efficient, they're out to do the job. And heaven help anyone who gets in the way of that job. Heck, even the support background characters have got a lot to do. The cops are doing their job. Even the royal is adding to the storyline. In fact, everyone who has a line in this movie adds to further the story, adds another layer to this very awesome cast. No one sucks, no one wastes your time on screen, no one annoys you, and no one gets in the way of the story. The score is a very easy 4. Story starts well. Story doesn't waste your time. They don't overly complicate it where it isn't needed to be. But at the same time, they don't treat you like an idiot. They don't spoon feed you like a child. They don't take a good idea and bury it under crap. You're not ambushed by pointless twists. You're not ambushed by useless characters appearing and doing something stupid and then disappearing. There's no dead-end second act moment. There's no dead-end third act moment. In fact, the first and second act blend together so seamlessly you don't realize that the movie's coming to an end until it begins to end. That is, third act begins. You're not pulled out of the movie by unrealistic plot devices. You're not pulled out of the movie by sudden and unexpected explosive events. You're not pulled out of the movie by anything, really. In fact, all this one does is pull you in further by giving you interesting twists, actual developments that matter. It's almost like someone thought this out. It's almost like there was a really good book that this might have been based on. Oh wait, there was. Now, I could go into details about the story, but you know what? That'd pretty much just ruin this one. This one really relies on the fact that you don't know what's coming next. Oh, you've got an idea. You're pretty sure you know kind of where it's going, but the way they get there is unexpected in many ways. It's set over almost a year's worth of time, this movie, but they still managed to jam in some character development, and in fact some character, what would you call it, degradation? A collapse of one particular character's mental state? Oh, it's the villain. The primary villain's mental state just goes down as with his obsession. As the hero, his mental state climbs with the challenge. Watching that is really interesting. It's not perfect. There's some bumps along the way. It slows down a little bit and a couple of times, and it probably didn't need to. Oh, and it's not a story that you can just daydream off in either. This is something you gotta pay attention to. There are a lot of elements and hints. Things both displayed, things said, and things happening in the background. Oh, and here's a fun thing. They don't sacrifice the villain's story to make the hero look good, and they don't pointlessly throw the hero into heroic moments just to make the villains look bad. They're pretty much two well-developed storylines that just weave together, producing a story worthy of a 4.25. It's really that good. Look and feel. Well, I can guarantee that they do not sacrifice the setting for the sake of anything else in this film. They've gone out of the way to find locations that actually make sense. Design elements don't clash. No character's appearance clashes with their personality. Gear, tech, weapons, all appropriate. The sound isn't scratchy. It isn't muted. It isn't dodgy. In fact, this is the sort of movie that benefits from headphones. You put headphones on for this sort of movie because there's so much happening in there. Little things in the background, things passing. In many ways, there's key elements hidden within the audio. And you need to, again, pay attention, eyes and ears on this one, because everything works together. None of the sets look like sets. There's no point in the movie where I could say that they're on a soundstage or not. And if they were, they're probably for very specific shots or close-ups or angles, when everything else was on location action shots. So it all just knitted together very nicely anyway. You ever seen a movie when they say, hey, this is a courtroom, and it just looks like someone's borrowed a cafeteria, put a whole bunch of different tables in there, mixed up a little bit, and have gone, welcome to the courtroom? You can tell there's a judge here. Yeah, not this time. The courtroom looks like a courtroom. The hospital looks like a hospital. The CIA, Jack Ryan's house, all these sorts of things. They look exactly like what you expect them to look like. They look believable. Hell, Ryan's office at the CIA is a mess, an absolute mess. It looks like the sort of place an obsessive analyst would be hanging out at, staring at photos. And it fits his character absolutely perfectly. Jack Ryan's house. That's a nice house in a beautiful location. Overall, the look and feel fails to bump you out of the movie, ruin the experience, throw you a curveball, or break the immersion. Everything about the look and feel, audio, visual, everything fits together like a puzzle, which matches everything else in the film. You see why I'm trying to do this a little bit differently? Because honestly, it's just good. It's hard to do. It's hard to review something that you can't really find a fault in. Script and dialogue, not a dud line in the movie. Well timed, on point, in character, every shot. Don't really know what else to say about it, to be honest. No bumbling exposition, no failed attempts at humor, no pointlessly empty loud threats, no hollow monologues, no dodgy stumbled lines delivered by subpar actors, no pacing problems, no out of character moments, no pointlessly rushed action sequences, no needlessly gratuitous action sequences, no immersion breaking commentary about something that they wouldn't know about and we didn't need to know about. I'll be honest, this part's kind of dulled the review. It's just so good. I mean, the finale in the house. The game of cat and mouse with bad guys with guns and night vision goggles and everyone else hiding in the dark. That could have been rushed. That could have been sloppily done. That could have been over too quick or unbelievably extended. It could have turned into some bizarre knife fight or punch up or martial arts extravaganza with Jack Ryan suddenly busting out the Marine moves when you haven't seen him do anything like it already. No, they resisted that urge. Everything he does makes sense in his character. All the bad guys and their actions, the way they move, the way they do their thing, it all makes sense too. There's even a logical response from one of the characters back in Langley who realizes they lost communication with the house. He doesn't dally around. He doesn't jump in the car to go save the day. He doesn't go, gee, I wonder what's happening. He just picks up the phone and goes, right, SWAT response team, go. No questions, no guesswork, no mucking about, no politics. Situation, fix it. Characters act in character, or the decisions make sense, or the politics make sense. It's another 4. And there's no reason not to give it another 4. I may have to review something I really don't like soon. Fun factor. Well, it's engaging, it's engrossing, it grabs you at the very start, and it keeps you there. You're immersed, you're interested, and you're invested. If you like your political thrillers that aren't afraid to stretch a story out over a year instead of jamming it into one action-packed week, then yeah, This is pretty much your thing. Did I enjoy myself? Oh yes. Would I recommend it? Always. Will I watch it again? Probably by the end of the year. Fun factor? At the risk of being predictable, 4. So you add this one together and you end up with a 20.25, one of my highest scoring movies. A movie so predictably excellent that I had to mix it up just to make it interesting to you and actually even just interesting for me. I mean, it sounds weird, but without something to complain about, it's like a bit dull, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So yeah, totally recommend it. If you haven't seen it, why not? Go, educate yourself. So there's my fairly unsurprising review of Patriot Games. Thanks for joining me and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below, give us some feedback on the Facebook page as well. I'd like to know if anyone else has read the books as well as seen the movie. Now if you have, you know that they're very different things. There's so much more happening in the book than in the movie, and not really surprising since Tom Clancy gets lost in his details. Like, a lot. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you're having a great week. I hope that you go and make some time to watch a movie.